My 20F relationship with older female friend 23F beginning to feel uncomfortable. Is it okay for me to not want to be friends anymore for no reason other than a mindset change? I 20F met a friend 23F on Twitter when I was 15 and she was 18 on Twitter when I was 15, but we only became close enough to talk every day when I was 16 and she was 19. I didn't have many friends at the time, and still don't. I've only realized in the past 2 months that my penchant for online friendships was due to undiagnosed autism. I could speak at length with them about my special interest while having a social boundary I could control. I've since realized this is unhealthy and have taken steps to make real friends. Talking for me and this girl was 80% intimate roleplay about characters we both liked, sort of typing out entire fanfiction within our messages and gushing over smut together. The other 20% was personal romance. It was quite weird looking back. Almost pseudo-romance through discussing our third-party fantasies together, but I liked it. She continually expressed genuine romantic interest in me, and for the most part I reciprocated, but I made it clear that I was unexperienced in real intercourse and relationships and did not want a girlfriend despite me thinking I liked her beyond friendship. I also wasn't sure I was actually interested in women as much as I was men, who were our main topic of fantasy, so I did not want to commit to a same intercourse relationship and end up hurting her for that reason. I communicated this clearly and she was perfectly fine with it. I found it exciting though, even going as far as trading nudes with her. She sent more than me, like full spread open frontal, but I still sent my breasts and butt, which was probably illegal at 16. She mentioned once being super upset and scared that everyone else thought she was a pedophile for talking to me, and I assured her that wasn't the case and that it didn't matter. Eventually she came to visit me and I had fun. We cuddled once or twice, but that was the extent of it because I am uncomfortable with kissing and much touch in general, not even due to her. I am this way with men too, it's sensory issues. But even just cuddling, it became apparent I didn't want her the way she wanted me. I felt less romance after this, and told her I didn't want a relationship, but continued the friendship and the character RP intercoursing for another year or so before stopping that in favor of regular jokes and conversation about our shared realization that maybe she isn't good for me and never has been came immediately after my autism diagnosis. I realized that all throughout my life I have had this pervasive pattern of being taken advantage of, intimate and romantic coercion by other people because I felt obligated by society to reciprocate or did not fully understand underlying intentions and took people for their literal word. I feel this relationship could be a bit of both. She says it's okay if I don't want a romantic relationship with her, as long as she has me in her life, but is it really? In my head it's starting to feel like a meta-manipulation tactic, make it seem as if you want the best for me, when really you are rooting for my downfall if it doesn't benefit you and isolate me. Once after my diagnosis of ASD I wrote a rant post on my spam account about how frustrating it is to look back on my life and see how many times I've been taken advantage of by others and not even realized it. Her response, by DMing me my post, was, "Is this someone new you're talking to, or are you referring to people from the past?" It's definitely not hard to realize this pattern if it happened to you multiple times. When you get tired of people treating you like an object, you will have nothing to do with them. If you want it to keep happening, you will keep giving them chances. She then continued to advise me to isolate myself and not seek out connections with other people because no one in this world is trustworthy and I am too honest and trusting of people. It dawned on me that neither of us had any actual friends besides each other. I have one other online friend who I feel is very genuine, as well as my sister in real life, but other than that it's just her. And she is extremely possessive. Anytime I try to socialize in person, especially with men, I can tell she wants it to fail. She has said so directly a few times, but mostly I can just sense it in her shortness. She looks through the likes on my small Instagram just to see if there's any new guys lurking around that I've been speaking to, and mentioned this to me directly. She constantly reminds me that I'm all she has besides her mom, and whenever I get too withdrawn for personal reasons she reminds me that she doesn't want to lose me, despite me never mentioning a breakup of the friendship. I feel like maybe she can sense that since I've stopped talking to her explicitly in the last few years that I've had a shift in mindset towards her and is nervous about it. I do not deny the fact that I was completely willing to intercourse it with her, and that she was barely more of an adult than me. However, at the same time, I do feel like I was quite naive and she may have sensed this. It never really felt like pushing intimate boundaries until I looked back on the situation as a 20-year-old myself. When she was 20 I was 17 and still in high school. Personally, I would never even look twice at someone in high school, even if they were 18, just because I feel the environment alone changes your maturity level. I'm not trying to say she's some pedophile, but I do feel crazy not knowing if this is normal behavior between friends and if it's traumatic of me to so suddenly feel like I no longer want to speak to her. I guess what I'm seeking an opinion on is a few things. Am I the idiot for no longer wanting to be friends with this person? How would I even go about that? Is it irrational that I feel taken advantage of despite the small 3-4 year depending on birthday age gap? Could my autism have made me more susceptible to latching onto this person who does not actually want me to grow? Did I lead her on? Too long didn't read it not safe for work chats with someone 3 years older than me. Realized I don't like them. They are extremely possessive. Struggling to understand if this is normal behavior on their part and if it's justified to stop being friends.